The king must make arrangements.
Hello guys, in this video we will be doing a complete analysis of budget 2022. Guys, yesterday our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the budget in the parliament, and guys, as you can see on the screen, I have done a good amount of analysis, and it took a lot of time to guys analyze the key points in the budget and to draw a meaningful conclusions out of it. So guys, and that's why it took a little time and we got little late, but no issues guys, better late than never. So guys, let's start the discussion. So guys, as you can understand by the headline of the budget, a futuristic budget. So guys, what I'm trying to say over here is that this budget is not only growth oriented, but at the same time it is future oriented as well. So guys, why I am saying this? Because guys, we saw in the budget that finance minister was talking about new technologies, new tech based industries which are going to give boost to the digital economy, right guys? So guys, the technologies which the government talked about was blockchain, drones, edtech, agriculture, that is agriculture tech, fintech, electronic vehicles, etc. So guys, and the government believes that investment in these technologies will create numerous job opportunities in the coming future. And guys, we also believe the same. So now discuss the total size of the budget. The total size of the budget is approximately 15% of the GDP, which is much higher than the pre-COVID levels. So guys, by this we can understand the push which the government is trying to give to the Indian economy after the pandemic, right guys? So guys, the total budgeted expenditure is 39.45 lakh crores, and the total receipts expected, which is 22.84 lakh crores, and the guys fiscal deficit is estimated to be around 16.61 lakh crores. So guys, this is approximately 6.4% of the GDP, as compared to the current year figure of 6.9%. It is little less. So guys, what the government is doing, government is trying to reduce the fiscal deficit year by year, and by 2025-2026 the government plans to reduce this to 4.5%. Now guys, what is fiscal deficit exactly, and why it should be low in number, right? So guys, fiscal deficit is the difference between the expenditure and the income of the government, and I'll tell you why it should be low in number. Because guys, if there will be a huge difference, then what the government will have to do, the government will have to borrow more. At the same time, the government will be forced to print more currency, and if there will be more currency in the market, this will lead to cost pull as well as demand pull inflation. And if there is high amount of inflation, then it will be very bad for the economy, and ultimately it will be very bad for the stock market as well. So guys, the inflation has to be in the limited terms. In order to achieve the same, the fiscal deficit should also be less, and 4.5% target by financial year 2025-26 it seems to be achievable as of now, right guys? So guys, now let's discuss how the government is planning to generate the revenue and how the government is planning to expend it, right? So guys, we can see the government has planned the expected revenue of 27.58 lakh crores, as compared to the current year figures, current financial year figure, it is 9.6% higher. And the current year financial figure, which is estimated because current financial year is yet to be closed, right? It is 25.16 lakh crores, and and the expected revenue will be 27.58 crores. So guys, we believe this is on the lower end, and the government can achieve much more than this, because recently we have seen a huge increase in the tax collection, not only in the excise, not only in the indirect taxation, but also in the direct taxation as well. Government has taken several measures, GST has rolled out very well, and the tax collections methods have been very easier and very easy to track. That's why the government revenue in respect of taxes are increasing day by day, right? Yes. So guys, this is on the lower end, and we believe that the government will be able to achieve much more than this, and this will reduce the fiscal deficit, right? So guys, now what the government is saying, that government is saying that Indian economy is recovering at a huge pace after the first and the second wave of the pandemic. In the third wave as well, we can see the momentum is not lost, because guys, the third wave is going on. It started in Jan and it is currently going on. but it has not impacted the momentum of the growth, which is evident from the GST figures. Yes, guys, the GST figure was 1.4 lakh crore in the month of January 2022, and this is the highest figure since the inception of GST. Right, guys? So, guys, and what the government is expecting? The government is expecting the Indian economy to grow by 9.5% in the current financial year, and that is the highest among all the large economies of the world. So, guys, we can from this we can estimate how the Indian economy is recovering, and India is on a path of becoming a superpower of the world. Right, guys? So, guys, now what we will do, one by one, we will discuss the main themes of the budget. At the same time, we will be discussing which sectors are going to be benefited the most. So, guys, the biggest gainer from this budget will be the infrastructure linked companies and the new age companies which are working on the modern day technologies like blockchains, electronic vehicles, drones, etc. So, guys, I'll tell you why I am saying this. First, let's start our discussion with the capital expenditure. So, guys, we all know that PM has a vision of creating India a $5 trillion economy. I hope, guys, you already know that India is currently a $3 trillion economy, but we are on the path of becoming a $5 trillion economy in the coming years. So, guys, in order to achieve this vision, there has to be a huge amount of capital expenditure. Not only the revenue expenditure, but at the same time, there should be a huge amount of capital expenditure. Now, guys, why I'm saying this? A huge amount of capital expenditure creates a ripple effect. This ripple effects boost the economy at a very higher pace. So, guys, you can see here also I have mentioned, according to a 2040 study titled Fiscal Multipliers by India, every rupee of capital expenditure by the government adds 2.50 to the GDP. Suppose if the government is expending as per this research, this is not 100% correct, but as per this research, if the government is spending 1 lakh crore on the capital expenditure, then the effect in the GDP will be 2.5 times, that is 2.5 lakh crores. So, guys, considering this fact in mind, the government has planned a capital expenditure of 3% of the GDP, that is rupees 7.5 lakh crores. So, guys, this amount is 24.5% higher than the current year expenditure. So, government is planning a massive outlay for the capital expenditure. Right, guys? So, guys, now one by one we will be discussing in short, what all capital expenditure the government has planned. The government is planning to build a national highway network of 25,000 kilometers in the financial year 2022 and 23, and this will cost the government 20,000 crores. And also, guys, the government is planning to build 80 lakh houses in the coming financial year. For this, the government has set aside 48,000 crore rupees. Guys, construction of houses creates a good amount of multiplier effect in the economy, because construction of houses is directly linked with several other sectors as well, which include labor, steel, cement, etc. Also, guys, the government has set aside 1 lakh crore for the states. Apart from the current allocation, 1 lakh crore is allocated more to the states if the states are planning to do the capital expenditure. Right, guys? Also, guys, the government is planning a Jal Jeevan Yojana, in which the government has allocated 60,000 crores and which is going to benefit 3.8 crore homes in India. So, guys, this will benefit the companies which deals in pipes like Finolex Industries, Prince Pipes, etc. So, guys, from all the plans related to the capital expenditure, the companies which are going to be benefited the most are L&T, Ultratech Cements, DLF, Jain Irrigation, etc. So, guys, again, this is not a buy-sell advice. You have to do your own analysis before taking the trade or investing in the same. This is just the sectors. We are just providing you details of the sector which are going to be impacted the most. So, guys, now let's move on to the taxation of digital assets. Guys, this is the one of the major steps which the government has taken in this budget. The government is planning to impose a tax of 30% on all the virtual or digital assets, which includes cryptos, NFTs, or any other technology-based asset in the market. Right, guys? So, guys, if you are earning an income of 1 lakh rupees by trading or investing in cryptos or any other digital asset, you have to pay 30,000 to the government. And if any financial year there are losses, you are not allowed to set off with the other incomes. Guys, at the same time, the government is planning to impose a TDS of 1% for the transactions in these virtual assets if they cross a particular threshold limit. Although this threshold limit is yet to be notified, if there's a transaction above this limit, a TDS of 1% will be imposed. So guys, this will help the government in monitoring the transactions and to see whether there is any illegal activity going on using these virtual assets or not. Right, guys? So guys, the government plan of imposing a tax on these virtual assets indicate that there are very less, or you can say there are no chances that the government is planning to ban these virtual assets in the future. Also guys, later on the finance minister clarified after the budget speech that there is one committee which has already been set up and the discussion is going on whether to ban these virtual assets or not. So guys, to be honest, it's almost impossible considering the market size of these virtual assets. It's almost impossible for the government to ban the same, right? And we believe that there will be no banning of the virtual assets. Government may impose the tax, or later on the government may increase the tax as well to discourage the use of these virtual assets, right guys? So guys, now let's move on to the boost which the government has provided for the agriculture sector. So guys, we saw an interesting move in this sector. We saw the introduction of Kisan drones. Guys, these drones will be used for crop assessment. At the same time, they will be used to spray the insecticides and for digitalization of the land records. So guys, what the government is trying to do, the government is trying to push the digital economy, because with everything going digital, there will be more transparency, there will be increase in the productivity, or you can say efficiency, and the economy will grow further. So guys, under this scheme, the startups will be encouraged to provide drone services, right? And guys, this digitalization of the land records will increase transparency, as I said earlier, in the real estate sector, and this will increase the participation of the foreign investors. As of now, foreign investors are not that much interested in the real estate sector, considering the current situation of this market in India. If the government is able to implement this transparency, then there will be high foreign direct investment in this sector as well. Also guys, what the government is planning to do, government is planning to procure agriculture product. So guys, this procurement from the farmers is known as MSP. MSP is minimum support price. The agriculture products which the government purchase from the farmers at the price at which they purchase is known as MSP, that is minimum support price. So guys, the government is planning to procure agriculture goods directly from 16.3 million farmers, and rupees 2.37 lakh crores will be credited directly to the accounts of the farmers. So guys, what this will do, this will help in creating more income in the rural areas and ultimately driving the demand. Once there will be high demand, then there will be a high amount of growth in the economy, right guys? Also, what the government is trying to do, government is trying to promote the chemical-free farming. So guys, with chemical-free farming, this will increase the quality of the soil for the farmers and will increase the productivity of their agriculture products, right guys? Also guys, what we have seen in this budget, government is focusing more on agri-tech. After fintech, the government has started giving its focus on Agri-tech. Agri-tech is agriculture plus technology. When we combine these two, we will get agri-tech. What government is trying to do? Government is trying to bring technologies in farming as well. Once these technologies are used in the farming, then there will be more productivity and there will be more efficiency, as we can see in other developed nations like US, right guys? So guys, now we will shift our discussion to the digital push which the government is trying to give in this budget. Guys, by now you all must be aware that the government is planning to introduce a digital rupee using the blockchain technology. Guys, this is the same technology using which other cryptocurrencies are built, like Bitcoin. So guys, what the government believes, not only our government but other governments in the world also believes, that the right to issue the currency is only of the government. And by government, I mean the central bank of that particular country. In our case, it is RBI. So the right to issue the currency is only of RBI, and no other can issue the currency, whether it is in the digital form or whether it is in the physical form. So guys, what the government is doing, government is planning to introduce the digital rupee using the blockchain technology. But guys, we feel that this will not impact the use of cryptocurrencies, because that will be just the rupee in the form of digital asset, right? Once this digital currency will be introduced, it will be just the rupee in the digital form. But in case of cryptos, people generally invest to get the returns out of it. But in case of the rupee, people are not going to get that much benefit. So guys, there will be very less impact on the cryptos. So guys, now we will talk about the Edutech, what the government has announced for the Edutech in this budget. So guys, what the government is trying to do, government is trying to give a personalized e-learning experience to each and every student in the country. So guys, as we know that in rural areas there is still very less penetration of the internet, still there is very less access to the digital education. But after the COVID, the government feel that it is necessary to implement. So government is planning to create several digital channels which will provide content not only in Hindi or in English but in the regional languages as well. So guys, these channels will provide supplementary education to all the students from grade 1 till grade 12. At the same time, this is one of the major moves which the government is trying to take, that is digitalizing post offices, right guys? So guys, post offices also offer several products, several banking products, but we are not able to use it since there are several restrictions as of now. These restrictions the government are trying to remove it by making it digital, right guys? All the 1.5 lakh post offices will be included in the core banking system, and people will be able to access their account via net banking, ATMs, mobile banking. What is happening as of now that if I have one account in post office in a branch near to my home, I can't access my account from anywhere else. I have to visit that particular branch, then only I will be able to access my account. But with this digital push, you will be able to access your account digitally and you can make the transaction. Not only post office to post office transaction, you will be able to make banking to bank to post office transaction as well. Suppose I have an account in HDFC Bank and I have an account in post office. So I will be able to transfer money between these two, right guys? So guys, now discuss the another important theme of this budget, which was job creation, that is creating employment in the country. So guys, you all must be aware that unemployment is still a major issue in our country. At one place, we are talking about $5 trillion economy. We are talking about becoming superpower. But guys, still we are facing this issue. We are still fighting with this critical issue, we can say, that is unemployment. And guys, after this pandemic, this issue has worsened and we have to take several measures along with the government to solve this issue. Guys, you must be aware that Jobaaj.com is working on the same theme. The Jobaaj.com was set up several years back with the same vision in the mind which the government is having right now. That is to provide jobs to the job seeker, at the same time upskilling the underskilled or unskilled people to get their dream job. So guys, with our Edutech arm, that is Jobaaj Learnings, and with our job placement arm, Jobaaj.com, we are working on the same theme, and by now we have successfully placed more than 10,000 professionals. But guys, this is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to help the millions of professionals out there in the market, and we are working on it, and hope with your help, guys, we will be able to achieve the same in the coming future. So guys, let's now discuss what are the measures which the government has taken to create jobs in the market. First one is one station, one product. Guys, 400 new Vande Bharat trains the government has planned to introduce in the next 3 years. So, in the rail sector will be asked to develop one station, one product. So guys, what they are trying to do, they are trying to create USP for each and every station. Suppose in Agra, if Petha is famous, so guys, they will be announcing that publicly that Agra is famous for Petha. This will create demand for the local products by all the moving passengers, right guys? So guys, and the next thing what the government is trying to do, government is trying to create production link schemes. Government is planning to expend a huge amount which will create 60 lakh new jobs in the next 5 years, right? So guys, one of such scheme is incentive of 19,500 crore for solar modules to boost the local manufacturing. This will give a push to the green energy, as well as this will create a demand in the country. This will reduce the dependency on the imports, right guys? So guys, the companies which are going to benefit from this move will be Tata Power, Solar Energies and IRCTCs, right? So guys, now next we will discuss about the technologies, what things government has announced for the technologies, what steps the government is taking to move to different type of technologies. The government has planned spectrum auction of 5G technology in the financial year 2022 and 23. This will help the private players like Bharti Airtel, Vodafone Idea, and Jio to roll out the 5G technologies for their customers. At the same time, guys, what the government is doing? Government is announcing several design-led PLI schemes. PLI is product-linked incentive schemes. So, guys, for any technology, there should be hardware. There should be some hardware which should support that particular technologies. Otherwise, that technology is of no use. So, government is planning to launch several design-led PLI schemes which will promote the manufacturers to build equipments which support 5G technology. Also, guys, the government has allocated a separate budget for faster broadband in the rural areas of the country. As you guys must be aware that currently fast internet in rural areas is still an issue, right? At the same time, what the government has done, the government has classified data center and energy storage system as the infrastructure spending. This will help the companies to raise easy finance for building data centers or creating energy storage system. Also, guys, the government is planning to launch e-passport with embedded chips. So the e-passport with the embedded chip will contain all the information, all the secured information, and you will not have to carry the passport physically, right, guys? So as you can see, what initiatives and measures the government is taking to push the digital economy, right? From the traditional steps which the previous government has taken, you can compare that what modern steps this government is taking to push digital economy and to become a superpower. Well, guys, so guys, and now we will talk about the electronic vehicle boost which the government is trying to give. The government is planning to introduce a battery swapping policy. Now the question is, what is battery swapping policy? Suppose you are electric vehicle user and your battery is draining out. So what you will do? You can't wait in line, or you can't wait for the battery to charge up. There should be some battery swapping policy. There should be some station where you can go, where you can keep your discharged battery and replace it with the one that is already charged. So guys, this is the battery swapping policy which the government is trying to implement. With this battery swapping policy, the electronic vehicle users will increase in the coming time, right? So guys, the government is bringing a battery swapping policy to boost the use of electric vehicles in the country. Also, the private companies will be promoted to set up business models for battery or energy related services in order to improve electric vehicle ecosystem in India. So guys, to provide the battery swapping policy, because the government itself will not be able to implement the same, the government will need the help of the private players. So guys, several initiatives, several incentives will be given to the private players to create business models which involves this battery swapping policy, right, guys? So guys, this move will benefit companies like this technology, which the move of investing in technology will help the companies like Bharti Airtel, Reliance Industries, FSCL, Expenditure, Exide Industries, and Amar Raja Batteries, right, guys? So guys, and now we will be discussing the boost which the government has announced for the startups. Guys, India is currently the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, only behind US and China. So guys, as of now, we have 83 unicorns. Guys, I hope you know what is an unicorn. Unicorn is a company which has a valuation of more than $1 billion. In rupee terms, it will be 7,500 crores approximately. So guys, we have 83 unicorn startups in India. Out of these 83, 44 were created in the year 2021 itself. So guys, we can see how this startup ecosystem is growing in India and how much job opportunities and growth this startup ecosystem can create in the coming future, right, guys? So guys, in the budget speech, the finance minister acknowledged the same, and she appreciated the progress of the startup ecosystem in India, but she's at the same time announced several other measures and initiatives to further grow this ecosystem, right? So guys, the government is planning to set up an expert committee for venture capitalists and private equity investment in India. Also, the government has capped the long-term capital expenditure at 15%. So guys, this will reduce the tax rate on the income which is earned by the angel investors while investing in the startup companies. So this will reduce the tax rate from 28.5% to 23%, and this will further boost up the private equity and venture capital investment in India. So guys, with more investments, there will be more growth of the startups and there will be more growth of the overall economy. So guys, now we will discuss a little bit about the defense sector. So what the government is trying to do, government is trying to reduce the dependency on the import of the defense equipment. Government has created several in-house manufacturing units, and government is planning to create more such units to reduce the imports. So guys, to take this step, government has already allocated 60% of the planned capital expenditure on defense for the Indian companies, right? Earlier, what used to happen, 100% of the defense products were imported from other countries. Now, government year by year is reducing the dependency on the imports, and government is creating in-house manufacturing unit, which will not only help us to satisfy the in-house demand, but also we will be able to export in the coming future. So see guys, from an import oriented sector, it will be an export oriented sector and will help us to generate more foreign reserves, right guys? So guys, also the expenditure will be done in the R&D sector, which will help us to create more quality products, more quality defense equipments, so that we will be able to export the same, right guys? So guys, now what is the conclusion of this overall budget? Guys, we might have skipped some points, but we have tried to cover all the major points in this video. So guys, now point is, what is the conclusion? What conclusion we can draw, overall conclusion we can draw out of this budget? So guys, I personally feel that this budget was in line with the goal of creating India a $5 trillion economy. Some execution challenges might be there, but I believe the government will be able to overcome that, and this budget will be implemented successfully. With the successful implementation, I believe in the coming years, India will definitely be a $5 trillion economy. Even the investors are showing confidence in the government, in the country, in the economy, and which is evident from the stock market movement. In the last 2 days, the Nifty index has given a return of more than 2%. And I see Nifty at 20,000 levels soon. So guys, I believe that in the coming times, India will be Atmanirbhar, India will be a $5 trillion economy, India will be a superpower. So guys, thank you so much. I will see you in my next video.